Geometric sequences. Okay, first thing you need to have down in your notes is the rule for geometric sequences, which is right here. I'll write it again larger. It's a sub n equals a sub 1, which means first term, times r to the n minus 1. N minus 1 is all exponents. An example of a formula filled out is right here. This would be your first term is 2, and your common ratio is 3, so you're multiplying by 3 each time. Okay, we're going to write a rule for the nth term of this sequence, and then we're going to find a sub 8. So again, our rule looks like this. First term times r to the n minus 1. My first term is 5. And my common ratio here, what I'm multiplying by every time, is 3. So there's the rule for the nth term of my sequence. Now, if we want to find the 8th term, we're going to plug 8 in for n, so 5 times 3 to the 8 minus 1, which when we put that in our calculator, we get 10,935. So our 8th term is 10,935. Now, sometimes in your homework, it's going to only ask you to find the 8th term. Well, the only way that you can get there is by doing all this work writing your equation first. So it might not have you enter the equation, but the only way to get to the 8th term would be through writing out your equation and then plugging in 8. Okay, next we're going to write a rule for the nth term of the sequence where a sub 4 is 12 and the common difference is r. So now we have to fill in the pieces that we know. So let's start with our general formula. We don't know a sub 1, and that's what I'm going to need to find first. Okay, so first of all, I do know r, that's 2. And since I know a term, I know that n is 4, and a sub n is 12. So plug 12 in for a sub n, and plug 4 in for n. So we're going to solve for a sub 1. So first of all, 2 to the 4 minus 1 would be 2 to the 3rd power, which is 8. The 8 is attached by multiplication, so I'm going to divide both sides by 8. A sub 1, whenever I simplify this fraction of 12 over 8, I get 3 halves. So my first term is 3 halves. My common ratio is 2 to the n minus 1. So there's my rule. Alright, now we're going to find the 7th term of this sequence. So what I need to do first is I need to write my formula out. My first term is 135. My common ratio here. So I need to figure out what my ratio is. I can't really tell by looking up here at the 135 and the 45, but if I look at 15 and 5, I can tell that I'm dividing by 3. So I can't put a 3 in here because that would be multiplying by 3. I'm going to put 1/3. That means dividing by 3. Okay, so there's my formula, and now I need to plug 7 in for n. And when I plug that into my calculator, I get 5 over 27. Okay, pause the video, try the independent practice on your own, restart it to see my answers. Okay, on this problem I realized that I made a huge mistake and I put the common difference and I put d equals. That would be for arithmetic, but since we're in the geometric section, I want to change that to make it the common ratio and make it be r equals. I won't always tell you whether it's geometric or arithmetic, so you'll need to look for the words common difference, common ratio, or the letters r or d. So here I made a mistake. It should have been ratio and the use of r. But I went ahead and did the problem anyways, so I plugged negative 96 in for a sub n, I plugged 6 in for n, and negative 2 in for r. When simplifying this, make sure that you're using parentheses right there to get the right sign out. I divided by negative 32 on both sides. I got a sub 1 equals 3, and then I could write my rule.